Sringara Prakasa Vintage Books Online. Buy. Write in comment box. During the many millenniums that have passed since India attained civilization many yugas ago, thousands of monarchs have adorned thrones and ruled the Indian nation. There were among them some who were so immortal that their names have been passed down from eon to eon to be remembered by their countrymen with admiration, affection, and veneration. Manu, Sagara, Yayati, Bhagiratha, Raghu, Janaka, Harishchandra, Bharata, Vikramarka, Shalivahana, Bhoja have left names which shine with undying fame during the evolving centuries. Manu is the great lawgiver. Bhagiratha, heroic example of magnificent endeavor. Harishchandra, the glowing personification of unsullied truth. Vikramarka, the most distinguished embodiment of valor. Janaka, the saintly philosophical king, and Bhoja, the great poet among princes and prince of poets. Reigning in Malwa about 1010 AD, he was the most munificent patron of learning of all time, and was himself a literary genius of mythical proportions. In the manuscript of Jan Bhandars at Pattan, Ajada, commentator of Saraswati Kantabharna, writes meaning that Bhoja Raja had achieved 84 honorific titles, and had written 84 literary works named after them, Saraswati Kantabharna, Sringara Prakasha, Samarangana Sutradhara, and c. In the Jan work, Prabhavaka Charita, Chandraprabha Suri says, Ramachandra, commentator of Bhoja's beautiful Champu Ramayana, wrote a forgar isgai farar Katsyar and 7 Amara Freres F. Taisavangdilya. No man's literary glamour in the history of world letters has received such exquisite tribute as that unique literary gem, Bhoja Charita. Picturing him as the center of a galaxy of the great poets of the nation, and indulging with them, and inspiring them to the highest fancies of poetic imagination. It is a beautiful tribute to Bhoja's literary glory, and Walter Savage Landor's imaginary conversations can hardly be mentioned in the same breath. Nor can Augustus of Rome, Frederick the Great of Prussia, Peter the Great of Russia, Elizabeth and James I of England, be mentioned alongside of Bhoja as patrons of letters or men of letters. While many of the Sanskrit men of letters were of supreme brilliance, and have left behind works of astonishing excellence, Maharaja Bhojadeva himself stands out as a figure of no small literary eminence. Single works similar to Champu Ramayana and Saraswati Kantabharana have procured their author's rank in the history of literature. And Bhoja Raja is said to have written 84 works, many of them yet to be discovered. It took 9 centuries for his countrymen to discover the manuscript of Sringara Prakasha, and the publication of the manuscript has been proving a slow and giant task. The Madras University, which discovered the manuscript 45 years ago, just treasured the manuscript, and still keeps it treasured. Sri Yatirja Swami of Melkote had to overcome hurdles before he could secure a copy of the manuscript, and was exhausted in publishing just 3 out of its 36 chapters. His efforts to publish it in full proved of no avail, and ultimately destiny placing the manuscript in our hands. We brought out the first volume with 8 Prakashas some time ago, and now be arranging out this second volume with further 6 scintillating chapters, Prakashas 9 to 14. It is curious that Bhoja does not find a place in Macdonald's History of Sanskrit Literature. It is no less curious that in what purports to be a history of Sanskrit Alankara by Dr. Kank, Bharataratna, National Professor of Sanskrit, and c. There is no reference to Bhoja's notable works, Saraswati Kantabharna, and Sringara Prakasha. The writer of the foreword to H.H. Sri Yatirja Swami's edition of 3 chapters of Sringara Prakasha says that the work must have been written by a committee of persons with Bhojaraja as president. Another tea writer ventures to remark that Bhojaraja is credited with having written 84 works. But he could not have written any onc of Themi. Indian scholarship docs not seem to have ever been so light-headed as it is today. Superficial scholars out to make some money. And 5 per column RevICW writers, makc the oddest remarks at random, thoughtless of what the truth may have been. Just to show off their own imaginary greatness, no committee could produce a great literary work. And it is the height of slander to say that so brilliant a personage as Bhojaraja sought to shine by robbing other men of letters. Were it so, he would not have been renowned for all time as the patron of great poets. Low birth is not necessary for literary merit. Poetic brilliance and supreme scholarship are divine gifts, and like rain descend with equal grace on the mountain top as in the mid-ocean. There is as little reason to doubt the authorship of Bhojaraya's Champu Ramayana as the authorship of Banna's Kadambari or Dandin's Dashakumaracharita. In it Bhojaraya has shown himself master of exquisite literary expression, having written Saraswati Kantabharna on the lines of Dandin, Vamana and Bharat with the traditional division of rasas or emotions. His thoughts were impelled to the conclusion that Sringara is the sole rasa, and the others are but its contributories. The result is Sringara Prakasha, with 36 meticulously analytical chapters, which may be said to be the find of the century. Thanks for listening and Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Bharat.